Arthur from Zebra Home Cinema. I just thought I'd take you to one of our installations that we're doing right now. We're splitting the triple garage space. The double part of it is going to be used for the home cinema and leaving the single garage space for storage. So follow me inside. Entrance to the rest of the residence is through here, so we're going to be walking through this section and then straight into the space that's going to be the cinema. So it's a really nice space to work with. Double garages make fantastic spaces for home cinemas. The challenge with most double garages is obviously making the room habitable, so you need to insulate it properly. The other biggest challenge is depends what's upstairs. So in this particular house, we've got one of the bedrooms upstairs, so what we're trying to do is isolate this space from vibrating and causing disruption and noise to other parts of the house. We're building essentially a room within a room, but this internal wall is completely isolated from the adjacent wall, so there's going to be an air gap here, followed by lots of acoustic insulation to try and prevent a transmission of noise to adjacent areas. Incidentally, we had to have one of the columns removed from here, one of the steel columns, and we've had it replaced for a horizontal steel. But if you just look above here, we've got the underfloor heating to one of the bedrooms upstairs. That's going to be insulated with rock wool, then there's going to be an air gap, and then the finished ceiling of this room is actually going to be below this steel here. So we're trying to isolate this room from everywhere else as much as possible within the given budget. As you can see in these frames, I've actually started putting acoustic rock wool within here. The subwoofer locations are going to be in the front corners. So actually building the frame out, going all the way across the wall, the screen is going to go on top of the frame, and on plywood we're going to have the in-wall speakers going in. And then we're going to do some calculations to find out where the sweet spot is in terms of the viewing distance, to make sure that the viewing angles are comfortable at the seating position, and according to where the best place to sit is we're going to position the surround speakers, the rear speakers and the high channels. The projector is going to be mounted essentially here eventually, and then as you come out here, all the equipment is going to be stored in another room. The client's already got a rack suitable for storing all the audiovisual equipment, Apple TV, Sky, whatever the digital sources are going to be, and then we're just going to route cables going from this section here right into the cinema room, where we'll be able to put the projector and also the control system to control all the lighting. So let's follow the experts in, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what they're doing today.
Okay. Working from the outside, we've got fire line boards, fire protection, 12.5mm, followed by 25mm foil back insulation, followed by 12.5mm ply, 75mm RW3 rock wool soundproofing board. On top of this, we're going to have 2 more layers of 15mm plasterboard, but again, it's the acoustic plasterboard. Insulation for the roof, we'll be doing the same. Trying to get as much insulation as up there as possible, followed by the acoustic RW3, and then 2 layers of 15mm acoustic plasterboard.
We've also built the room so it's actually floating, so it's not touching any wall, so it's totally isolated from the rest of the house, which hopefully will keep the sound in a tight confined space, in theory. Yeah. But we've just seen the size of that speakers. Now we're worrying.
We're very concerned, yes.
It's all good fun.
Yeah. Yes, it is positioned to the subwoofers. Obviously, we've taken it back into the wall, into the void. Plus, building the box, so they'll be enclosed in the box, and then we'll soundproof the box as well, I think, which will give us a lot of hopefully decent soundproofing. This area here will be the projection area. So what we'll be doing is building a hatch here to allow access to the projector. There'll be a platform built across here and up. We'll try and insulate this completely with acoustic soundboards and stuff. Because the last thing we need is sound weeping out from the main room and working its way up into the bedrooms above.
We've raised the floor level, so now we can walk straight through into the cinema room. So today, what our main thing we're doing today is measuring all the speaker positions. So the most important thing is the distance from the seating position, and we measure everything according to ear level. So if we're sat here, we're 3 meters away from the screen, and if you're reclining back, then that's where our seating position is going to be. That's where ear level is going to be. The screen material is going to be acoustically transparent, so with tiny little perforations in there to allow the speakers to work correctly. And our centre position for the first speaker is going to go here, and then the left and right channel is equidistant to that. From the seating position ear level, our surround speakers are then going to go in the left and right positions, again at ear level. We're going to have 2 tiers of seating, so with the second row raised, our rear centre channels, if you just have a look at the back there, are going to be slightly raised at ear level, again equidistant from here. So the rear centres are going to go in these sections here. Our ceiling channels are going to be coming away from the walls and then equidistant from the screen. So slightly in front of the seating position, away from the walls, just to allow that extra height and extra immersive audio. We're just going to draw that up and cable for that later on this week, and then hopefully we'll have our surround speakers in by then.
Great to be doing an install just before Christmas Day.
Absolutely.
So After's been my helper today.
Yes, of course. What, for 10 minutes?
10 minutes. We're just doing the pre-wire today, first fix. So got a wire storm, optical HDMI going in for the projector. Got the Anthem amp here as well, and then some speaker cable. This is a 14 2 gauge speaker cable going in for all the speakers, and a bit of RG6 for the subs. It's just pulling cables day, getting dirty, drilling holes and pulling cables. That's my day for today. So basically, this is really a nice way of doing speaker install. So rather than using the plasterboard as the brace for the speakers, put some ply in. This is just some 12mm ply, and the speakers brace are there. So if there's going to be any vibration, it's gone completely because this is all been taken out. So these little things that you can do on the actual structure that help with the system overall. My job now is to run the speaker cables. So it's getting the drill out. First, find some roots, drill some holes. Looks like I'm going to go round the outside, keeping the frame, and then drop everything in. It's going to be the plan. So crack on. So we're going to run cables through there. We're going to come in through here and find a route through, keep it high, and drop the speaker cables down to all the speakers. So the old trusty drill bit, and I'm going to effectively drill holes now as prep, high level, all the way around, even when they put the insulation, which is a shame, and then ready for the cables to drop in. So next hour's job, drilling.
If you remember from the last video, we created a hatch in here which the projector is going to be housed in. It's going to be in a separate section than the actual garage. That'll reduce the noise coming from the fan from the projector, and also this particular client, they didn't want to see the projector in the room, so this is quite a neat way of hiding it. And then we've got cabling coming in from the garage. You can see the cables already here, ready to go into the existing rack. So we've made a bit of progress in here since the last video. First thing to notice, everything's been double boarded. So the wall, the ceiling, these cavities have been created using plywood to hold the in-wall speakers in, just to reduce the vibrations. You can see one of the cavities here, that's for the front right ceiling speaker, and we're going to have 2 at the front. And the client decided that they want 2 rear speakers in the ceiling as well, so we're having 4 ceiling speakers. You can just see that another box has been prepared here, just to house one of the rear speakers, and the cabling's already been done. We've got a track prepared for LED lighting. So we're going to have dimmable LED lighting going down the back, down the sides and just under the screen, just to give the room a bit of detail really in the finish. Next stage is plastering everything, getting the lighting prepared, and then decorating, carpet, seating, and once that's done we'll be installing all the speakers.
So we're just using effectively the space in the existing client's rack to put the Anthem amp and also the Control 4 controller, and this is the link of cables, which is speaker cable, comms cable, fibre HDMI cables coming across. We've chosen not to put it in trunking for a couple of reasons. Trunking itself, the plastic trunking itself, to make it look neat on corners and get all the joints in is sometimes a bit challenging. And secondly, there's already in this garage exposed cables, so we're just going to follow the same logic. Just make it look a bit neater with some of the Hessian sleeve.
Okay, so welcome back to the cinema project. This is going to be the main run into the cinema room. So you'll be having all these memorabilia on the walls here. We've dropped the ceiling to try and keep the sound away from the main bedrooms upstairs. Above here is the main projection room, which we've got access through the back. So the cinema, all projection and everything will be filmed through here. Air vent leading into the main room, which we'll show you when we get into the main room. We've got two of them going in, obviously to give the room ventilation. So into the main cinema room. And as you can see, the project's nearly done. Two raised areas for the back seating. LEDs fitted in the sides and around the front. All the lighting is going to be controlled by Control 4. Good, so you walk in, you'll press the film, all the lighting will come down. We've got LED lighting, which are going to be going in these channels at the top and bottom. The top ones will flood the walls with light, which will be lovely, give a nice colour. Obviously we'll be having air vents. We'll show you on the other one where the air vents are coming through. So basically, we've got the air vent in the back of the room there. We'll have air vent in the front of the step, just to allow ventilation into the room. This is a hatch that we've built because it's got a steam room as well. So we needed access to the steam room generator. So what we've done here is we've built a plasterboard hatch and it literally just pops open and lifts up. That'll all be papered and blend into the room. So the next time you see it, it should be pretty much finished.
I'll do it. I think that one side is good. And that is why you do a dress rehearsal of fitting the speakers. That's spot on there. Yeah, so the overall profile is right, it's just a bit of
Just needs that bit at the back trimming away, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's good, we can just I can do that on all.
There we go. First time fit. Well, cool. First time, straight in.
Told you it'd be perfect.
There we go. Right, so we're just discussing the reason why we've double boarded and ply boarded these walls. So one of it was the sound leakage out of the room. The other thing is the actual walls themselves are so rigid. And you can tell that one of the easy, quick ways to check if the wall's good is if you bang it, we get almost no vibration from the walls. Frequencies are dying instantly. It's a really solid wall, which means we're doing the best we can with the room to support the speakers. So there should be less correction we need to make for the room because we built the room correctly. So it's a real good sign, really good sign. So it sounds great. System's gone in. The Control 4 system in this case is Control 4 and it's a CA1 processor, just looking after the home cinema. There is a Zigbee light switch outside the front door, outside the door, sorry, which is controlling the down lights and the kickboard lights, small LEDs. Also today we've installed the LED controller. The LED controller is an M&K ODE controller connected into Control 4 using ArtNet drivers for some RGB lights, which haven't gone in yet, but these are where the RGB lights are going to go. I've added a Zigbee IR unit for the moment because Apple's not the best for integration for my people. It can do well, it can be, it can't be, it messes around. So I put an IR in, so that's gone in today as well. And lastly, the 3-meter screen has arrived today, which is a projector, acoustically transparent 16:9 format, HD format screen. It's ready to go on the wall. The reason it hasn't gone on the wall yet, we haven't fit the speakers behind, so the speakers are still to go in. The projector's gone in, the Epson TW9400's gone in as well. That's going to be line controlled by Control 4. Also today, a Nest has been fitted for the heating control. Again, will be integrated into Control 4 tomorrow. So lots to do tomorrow. This is the dual channel dimmable Zigbee controller for the lights, which is doing the main down lights and the floor kickers around the floor there. The Anthem amplifier has gone in today. The Control 4 CA1 on a shelf. There's a PoE switch already in place, so we're just tapping off this PoE Cisco switch with our links in here. Cables are dressed in. Not finished yet, I finish this tomorrow, but basically good practice, label all the speaker cables not at the back of the amp, label them as well somewhere where you can see them in the future. So if you label them right at the back of the rack, you're still having to get your head in there to see which cable they are. Label them back here, you can trace them back and you can find them nice and easy. Hey, this is the new Control 4 Neo remote control. We're just opening it mainly because it's like a kind of an iPhone presentation. So sleeve cover, nice matte black box with Neo, very kind of cool. And it opens up like so. I've lived with the Control 4 SR 250s and 260s for years. I've used it for a day and already love it. It's the right size, it works really well. But what's nice about this as well is the way the presentation box is a drawer. You open the drawer, take the drawer out, remove some of the documentation, and you get the nice braided power cord. You get a charging dock, which is really heavy and also magnetic. Yeah, you're paying for a presentation box, but the sort of the feel-good factor and the wow factor from it is really nice. It's something that I want customers to open as well, rather than me opening it and just putting it in the room. So I think to have it in a box like that is really nice. You can literally connect it to your system yourself, choose the room it goes in, does its software updates, downloads the room configuration, and you're away. It's really nice. And so far, with the time I've used it, it's been faultless. So it's a nice user controller for the room. There we go. The Control 4 Neo remote. Put it back in its box before I get it dirty.
All the walls have been wallpapered now, including the ceiling, so we're getting that to our finish. And came our installer here from Vertus Integration. We've managed to get all the in-wall speakers into the correct positions. So we've got the front 3 speakers here, we've got the surrounds left and right, and the rear centre speakers all in position. The only thing we're waiting for now is just to put the ceiling speakers in. We've done 1, so we've got 3 to go. So that's absolutely brilliant. And then after that, we're going to get the subwoofers into position, ready for carpeting next week. These particular speakers, they come with white paintable speaker grills. Kane's beautifully demonstrating on here.
Yeah, but that is, don't just get a paintbrush and paint the grill, because you're going to fill the holes. So the screen which is ready to go on, as you'll see, covers the left, right and centre speaker. The screen goes slightly beyond the left speaker and the right speaker, but so you can get the widest sound stage possible. It's behind the screen. So back to the comment I made on before, if you saw the piece on the grills, we want to reduce the any barrier between the speaker and the listener. With the screen, what that means is you go for an acoustically transparent screen. If you come slightly closer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone lights behind the screen, and hopefully that will show loads of dots and the light fires through. So this is a slight compromise between video performance and audio performance. So getting the screen correct, and this is where you want to invest in a good screen, a good acoustic transparent screen with the right projector setup. You don't get any of the issues associated with acoustic transparent screens. But the reason for it is to allow the audio to come through that with a minimal amount of muffling from the screen. So screen's ready to go on. It's kind of a felt edge screen, aluminium screen. As I said, it's 3 meter wide. And that's going on shortly.
Obviously we had to test, make sure things work. So we've got Call of Duty playing in the background. Got a little bit distracted, I have to say, but it's all part of field testing, very, very important. We've calibrated the speakers just to make sure that the bass levels are correct and that all the surround speakers that are working are in sync with the bass. So that's really, really important, how to control bass. I'm going to pass over to Kane just to run through some of the technical aspects whilst I go away and play a little bit of Call of Duty.
Done today is got the LED control system working with the actual LEDs in place. So we've got high level LEDs and a ring of low level LEDs. They are separated, so you can have one on and one off. You can also do them in different colours. So I'll do a quick demo for you here where we're going to look at the high level LEDs, we turn them off and make them green. So we can pretty much make most pastel colours that you want to achieve. But what we've tried to do here is basically allow it so we can have the lower ones and the upper ones independent. And if I just turn off the down lights. So if you turn to the screen now, you'll see the LED screen is now off. You can actually have the LEDs on with the screen on as well, with a little effect by having it on the sides. So that's the first thing we've done today. We've been basically sorting out the LEDs. The second thing we've done, as Artif explained, was the audio calibration. This has been done using Arc Genesis, which is the Anthem calibration software. But in parallel to that, because I'm a bit old school, get the old calibration, the older dB meter out. And the first thing we did was measure the levels at each speaker at a meter. What we're trying to do is, for every speaker which is the same, get a similar dB level at a meter or at a fixed point out from all the speakers. Then I run the calibration and I just cross-check what the calibration does with the actual recordings. Because of the room and the fact we've had complete control of the room design, they're pretty much spot on. The subs have come out exceptionally well. The response profile from the subs has been basically almost perfect. I would say almost perfect. Can't say perfect, but almost perfect. So that's been done today. This will be done again. We've had some things in the room today that shouldn't be in the room, just because we're putting LEDs in. And even though we've been out of the room when we've done the calibration, it still needs to be done again in the final setup. So the final seats aren't in the room, and also the final layout. So it will be done again, but I would say we're 95% calibrated from an audio point of view. So Control 4's been tuned a little bit better today, a little bit smarter. So some master offs, master ons on the entry switches as you come into the room to turn the system on and turn the system off. And also the LED moods. So I can quickly, if I press a button, so we can walk in and press one button and have a scene set. Press another button. This is just full on with red, and then we obviously have the off. Sorry, I'll put the light back on, guys. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
So those kind of, but these are completely tunable scenes. We can change these to suit the customer's final requirements for colours and for the way the system works when you come in and out. The projector's been set up again today to, again, about 95% of where it needs to be. We've got some calibration hardware that we can use to do the final fine-tuning, but again, that'll be done in the final layout of the room, and the final seats are in here when we do the audio. And that's where we've got to today. So 98% done.